Hi everybody, it's Susan from Sunrise Quilt Studio, and I have block number 11 for you in the Christmas basket quilt project. And this one is called Cake Stand, and this one is made with two fabrics with the background on top of it, so three fabrics all together. So I chose green and red, so those are good contrasting colors. They're complementary colors, and I think it has a lot of contrast in it. I think it turned out to be a real pretty block. So this one uses half square triangles, squares, and rectangles, and the half square triangles are in two different sizes. We have 2.5 inch half square triangles, and then these here are 3.5 inch half square triangles. So I'll show you two different methods to make these in this block. So I hope you'll stay with me, and I'll show you how to put this block together. Here are the fabrics that you're going to need to make the cake stand block. This is block number 11. For A, you need 4 3-inch squares. For B, you need 1 3.5 inch square. For C, 1 4-inch square. D is 1 3.5 inch square. E is 1 4-inch square. F is 2 2.5 by 6.5 inch rectangles. G is 4 3-inch squares, and I have that up here with the A square. And H is 2 2.5 inch squares. So let's get started making this block. Okay, to make this block, I'm going to start out by making the half square triangles. So that is piece A and piece H. Now I'm using triangles on a roll, which is a foundation paper for half square triangles, and there are other brands of foundation paper out there that you can use. And I'm just doing 8 at a time half square triangles here. So it's the same concept, only it has the foundation paper as opposed to cutting the squares and then having to draw all these lines on here. You know, they're already drawn for me. So I'm just going to put my fabrics right sides together, and then I'll put the triangle paper on top. And just follow the directions. If you're using a triangle paper, just follow the directions for the brand that you're using, and I'm sure you'll get some good results. And of course, the pattern is written to make 2 at a time half square triangles, so you can also follow those directions, and you can find those. There's a link in the description box below where you can download the instructions to this block. I just didn't want to make anybody think they had to buy triangle paper to make these blocks, because you don't. And so I wrote the instructions for use without them. Okay, so for this paper, I'm going to sew on the dotted lines, and I'm going to cut on the solid lines. And I like to lower my stitch length to 1.5, and that creates more perforation so the paper tears off easier. And it also makes a more stable seam, so that when I pull the paper off, I'm less likely to pull stitches out. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch this. Okay, so now I'm going to cut these apart, and I'm going to cut on the solid line, and I'm going to start on the outside and cut off all of these first, and then I will work on the inside. So this goes pretty quickly. It doesn't take too much time. Okay, now I need to make 2 half square triangles from the C and the E squares, and on the E square I drew a diagonal line on the wrong side. I'm not using triangle paper for this because I don't have any that size. So I'm just going to put these right sides together, and I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch away from this drawn line on both sides. And I'm going to increase my stitch length back up to 2.0 because I don't have to tear off any paper on this one. And just using my 1/4 inch foot, and I'm going to sew on this one. I'll just swing it around and sew the other side. Okay, now I need to cut on this drawn line, and then I'll press and I'll have 2 half square triangles. I'm going to turn this off. Okay, so I'm going to press this towards the green fabric here and trim off the dog ears, and then I'm going to trim it down to 3.5 inches square. So now I need to trim this to make sure it is 3.5 inches square, and it looks pretty close. It's a little bit larger, so I'm going to just line up the 3.5 inch mark here and here, and the diagonal line there, and then I'll trim what little is left over. See, there's just a little sliver there. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim off that dog ear. So I'll do the same with the other one. So next thing I need to do is to lay out the pieces for the block, and then we can start sewing them together. Okay, so I am going to start with my F pieces. These are the long 2.5 by 6.5 inch pieces, and one is going to go here and one here. And then I need the half square triangles. They're going to go here and here. And I'm watching my diagram, make sure I've got things facing the right direction. And then here I need an H square, which is a background square. And here I need my B square, which is my green. That's going to go there. And then the two 3.5 inch half square triangles will go here. So this forms the base of the basket, or the bottom part of the basket. There's the feet of the basket where it sits, and then I need a D square to go right there, and then all my half square triangles, and they line up in this direction. So I need 3 on this side and 3 on this side, and they point towards each other, so there we go. And then I need the last H square goes right here. So there is that block. So I'm going to do a kind of a blown out section for you so you can see what I'm doing. These are the sections I'm going to sew together. I'm going to sew these 3 and then these 2. These 4 are going to go together like a 4 patch. And then these 3 will go together. And then these 4 will go together. So when I put the whole block together, I'm going to start with the center, and I'm going to add this part to here, this part to that, and then this part to the center, and then this part to it. So it all will all piece together. So let's get back to the sewing machine and start sewing all of these sections together. Now, as you're sewing these pieces together into sections, it really doesn't matter what you start with, but do sew them together into sections so that you can get the whole block together easily. This block will not go together in rows, so you have to kind of do it in sections. Okay, here is the finished cake stand block. Here it is at the side, here it is on point, and I think that turned out really well. So this one just uses 2 different fabrics along with your background, and you got half square triangles, you got 2.5-inch ones, 3.5-inch ones here, and then just some squares and rectangles. So as long as you don't try to put this together in rows, it really goes together easily. So you just make your 4-patch and do your sections, and I think you'll be able to master this one. Well, that is it for the cake stand basket block. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and click that notification bell so you'll be notified when the next video comes up. Share this video with your friends. And in the meantime, I hope you're all staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. For more quilting ideas, click on the video links. And to keep up with my latest projects, click on the subscribe button. I hope to see you again soon.